Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So hi, this is Nipun Jain. I already passed out from IIT Dhanbad. I already qualified IIT JEE, GATE, JEST, IIT JEM, CU CVT, all the physics exam, right? So in the previous video, I solved all the solved example from a bundle motion of a straight line from a NCERT book, right? And today now I make video from like what are the important key points from bundle motion in a straight line. We can discuss it and revise this chapter so that it is easier for you to revise whole chapter, right? So today we are going to discuss all the important points, key points of a motion in a straight line from a NCERT book, right? Right. So like important points that we can remember this: the origin and the positive direction of an axis are a matter of choice. You should first specify this choice before you assign sign to quantities like a displacement, velocity, and acceleration. Like what they are telling that like first like we find vector quantities like displacement, velocity, and acceleration. So first we take origin as one of the points and we assign like positive x-axis as a plus sign and negative x-axis as negative sign. Or you can take opposite sign of it also. But in initially you can specify this, right? So this first point telling that. Second point, if a particle is speeding up, acceleration is in the direction of velocity. Means suppose if one body is moving, their velocity is increasing. Means if their velocity is increasing, means acceleration is in the direction of the velocity, right? If its speed is decreasing, means if its speed is decreasing, means acceleration is in the direction of opposite to that of its velocity. This statement is independent of the choice of the origin and the axis. This statement is independent of like whatever the origin you take, it doesn't depend on. It's only tell that if your body's speed is increasing, means acceleration vector and velocity vector are in same direction. If your velocity is decreasing, means acceleration vector and velocity vector are in opposite direction, right? The sign of acceleration does not tell whether the particle speed is increasing or decreasing. The sign of acceleration, as mentioned in point third, depends on the choice of the positive direction of the axis. For example, if vertically upward direction is chosen to be positive direction of the axis, then acceleration due to gravity is negative. If a particle is falling under gravity, this acceleration has this acceleration through negative results in increase in speed. For a particle thrown upwards, the same negative acceleration of gravity results in a decrease in speed. You are getting my point? The sign of acceleration, as mentioned in point third, depends on the choice of the positive direction of the axis. For example, if vertically upward direction is taken choosing to be positive direction of the axis, if acceleration due to gravity is negative. If a particle is falling under gravity, this acceleration through negative results in increase in speed, right? Suppose the particle is falling in the downward direction, their velocity vector is also in the negative direction and acceleration is also in the negative direction. So we take acceleration due to gravity in a free falling condition is positive. Getting my point? And when we throw the body upwards, like the initial velocity is in upward direction and acceleration due to gravity is in opposite direction. So this is also negative. Getting my point? The zero velocity of a particle at any instant does not necessarily imply zero acceleration at that point, at that instant. A particle may be momentarily at rest or yet have a non-zero acceleration. For example, a particle thrown up has a zero velocity at its uppermost point, but the acceleration at that instant continues to be the acceleration due to gravity. In a kinematic equation of motion, the various quantities are algebraic. That is, they may be positive or negative. The equation are applicable in all situations for one-dimensional motion with a constant acceleration, provided the value of different quantities are substituted in the equation with a proper sign. Right? The definition of instantaneous velocity and acceleration are exact and are always correct, while the kinematic equation are true only for motion in which the magnitude and direction of acceleration are constant during the course of motion. Last statement, what they are telling that the definition of instantaneous velocity and acceleration are exact and always correct, while the kinematic equation are true only for the motion in which the magnitude and direction of acceleration are constant during. Means what they are telling that we find the instantaneous velocity like dx by dt, instantaneous acceleration dv by dt, right? So they are always true. But like v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, these equations are only valid when their acceleration are uniform. If acceleration are non-uniform, we cannot apply these equations of motion, right? And here the final conclusion I can tell: motion of a body are only two types: velocity constant. Motion of a body are only two types, right? So velocity constant or velocity constant or accelerated motion. If velocity is constant, means velocity is equal to displacement upon time. We can apply accelerated motion ke uniformly accelerated motion or non-uniformly accelerated motion. And I just tell just few minutes before, if acceleration are constant, then we can apply equation of motion: v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, v square is equal to u square plus 2s, displacement in ns second, s is equal to u plus a by 2 and minus 1, s is equal to half u plus v into t. Non-uniformly accelerated motion: v is equal to ds by dt, acceleration dv by dt and v dv by dx. अब Now, if you have a given the displacement and if you have to find velocity, so what you do? You do differentiation. And if you have a velocity, now you have to find acceleration. So you again do differentiation. Now, if you have a velocity and if you have to find displacement, so what you do? You do integration. If you have an acceleration and you have to find velocity, so again you do integration. Understanding my point? Now our NCRT summary chapter. An object is said to be in motion if its positive position changes with time. The position of the object can be specified with reference to the conveniently chosen as origin. For motion in a straight line, position to the right of the origin is taken as a positive and to the left as taken as a negative. The average speed of an object is greater or equal to the magnitude of the average velocity over a given time interval. Instantaneous velocity, or simply velocity, is defined as the limit of the average velocity as the time interval delta t becomes infinitesimally small. So v is equal to limit delta t tends to 0. V average is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 dx delta x by delta t, that is equal to dx by dt. The velocity at a particular instant is equal to the slope of the tangent drawn on position time graph at that instant. Average acceleration is basically change in velocity divided the time interval during which the change is occurred, right? Average acceleration is the change in velocity divided by the time interval during which that changes occur. Right? Instantaneous acceleration is defined as the limit of the average acceleration as the time interval delta t goes to 0. The acceleration of an object at a particular time is the slope of the velocity time graph at that instant of time. For uniform motion, acceleration is 0 and the position time graph is a straight line inclined to the time axis and the velocity time graph is a straight line parallel to the time axis. For a motion, uniformly accelerated motion, velocity time graph is for a uniform accelerated motion, acceleration is 0 and the velocity time position time graph is a straight line inclined to the time axis and the velocity time graph is a straight line parallel to the time axis. For a motion with a uniformly acceleration, position time graph is a parabola, velocity time graph is a straight line inclined to the time axis. The area under velocity time graph between times t1 to t2 is equal to the displacement of the object during that interval of time. For an object in uniformly accelerated rectilinear motion, 5 quantities: displacement, time taken, initial velocity, final velocity, acceleration are related by a set of simple equation called kinematic equation of motion. Right? So they have given v is equal to u plus at, x is equal to vt, u naught t plus half at square, v square is equal to u square plus 2s. If the position of the object at t is equal to 0 is 0, if the particle starts at x equal to x naught, x in above equation is replaced by x minus x naught. Right? So now important like dimensional formula for Bunty motion from a NCERT book. Path length or displacement. Right? They both have a dimension of length and their unit is meter. And we can divide x2 minus x1. In one dimension, it's a sign indicates the direction. Velocity is average or instantaneous. Velocity is and instantaneous. LT inverse, that is meter per second. So that is dx by dt. Limit delta t tends to 0, delta x by delta t dx by dt. In one dimension, its sign indicates the direction. Right? Speed, average or instantaneous. And speed, you know, distance upon time, path length divided by time interval. Path length have a length or time, so LT inverse meter per second. Acceleration, that is also average and instantaneous. And you know, velocity divided by time interval. LT inverse divided by t, so that is LT minus 2 meter per second square. In one dimension, its sign indicates the direction. Right? So now relationship between graphs. This is also very important thing. Like velocity is, we know, position divided by change in position upon time interval. Acceleration is change in velocity upon time interval. So velocity is slope of position. If in position time graph, if you draw the slope, that gives you the velocity. In velocity time graph, if you draw the slope, you gives the acceleration. Right? So in position, in velocity time graph, if you find area under velocity time graph, that gives you the position. In acceleration time graph, if you find area, that gives you the velocity. Area under acceleration graph gives you the velocity. Area under velocity time graph, that gives you the position. Understanding my point? Now, these are important graphs like position, velocity, and acceleration graph. If constant position constant means particle remains at rest, means they are not changing their position. Means this car is at rest. They are not moving, but they remains at rest. Means their time is going on, but their position does not change. Means the time is going on, their position not changes. Right? Like velocity time graph, their velocity is also 0, acceleration also 0. Second condition, they are moving with constant velocity, means 0 second 0 meter, first second they move 5 meter, second 10 meter, third second 15 meter. So their position time graph, they're moving linearly, right? And their velocity is constant, and you know, velocity constant, their acceleration is 0. Acceleration constant, acceleration graph means constant acceleration means, you know, as x is equal to ut plus half 80 square. They're starting from west, so this become half 80 square. Understand? So here you see position time graph is a parabola. So that's why here parabola coming. And here velocity time graph is a straight line because v is equal to kt. Right? So velocity time graph where acceleration is constant, it is a straight line. And acceleration time graph, because acceleration is constant, so this is just a constant parallel to the time axis. Right? And there is a two example which are very useful. A ball dropped from a some height edge straight down and acceleration is minus g. Then their position time graph is a parabola and velocity time graph is a negative b axis. It is like this. If v is equal to minus gt, here position is equal to minus half. It is like this ki ut minus half gt square, and this has a acceleration constant, means acceleration is basically minus g. Understanding my point, these are very important graph. And for vertically cannonball, means when you are throwing ball vertically upwards, so acceleration again here they take minus g, so here they put s is equal to ut minus half gt square. It is a parabola. And here velocity time graph v is equal to u minus gt. This is also like this. And acceleration time graph, this is again constant but negative acceleration is there. Understanding my point, all the important graphs, position time, velocity, acceleration graph, their conversation, and freely falling and vertically throwing, all the graph I discussed here. I feel you good and you understand the concept, each and every concept. If you feel any doubts, you can ask me. Now I ask you ki next video I make on what topic and what topic you want, and what type of question I solve in the next video, so that I get the idea, and you can suggest me like what extra things I put in my video so that you get helpful for you, all of you guys, right? So I discuss all the important points and points to remember from the NCERT book and some of the graphs and all the key points that are important for bunty motion. Getting my point? So I hope this video is quite useful for you, and it makes your preparation, and in your preparation is really helpful. And if you have any doubts or you want any something special in my video, you can comment me in my chat box or Telegram personally, or you can also comment in YouTube video. But just I want you can share this video for other people who are preparing for IIT JEE NEET examination. And I try, my aim is to help you guys just a free of cost, not any money I wanted. Just I want you can share with other people so that I get more motivation, and you comment me like what the things you wanted. Okay, thank you.